Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, today I'm going to do something a little different today. I was inspired by Michael K. Vaughan's video that he did yesterday, and it was titled All the Superman Books That I Own. Now, I don't know if inspired is the right word, maybe steal is the right word, but I don't know of any other place other than booktube that stealing someone else's ideas is not only welcomed but encouraged. So today I want to do my Batman books that I own, and of course it doesn't include the floppy comic books. These are all trade paperbacks and hardcovers that I've acquired over the years. Now, I don't have as much as Michael K. Vaughan had in his video of his Superman books, so this video shouldn't take as long as his. His was well over half an hour. He has a lot of books, and I don't have any omnibuses. I think he had quite a few of them. So I've only been able to acquire, these over the years whenever I've been able to. So, but this is like pretty much a lifetime of collecting when I could. So I'm gonna get started where it began for me. And I think I've shown this book before on my channel, but this book, Batman from the 30s to the 70s. This is a hardcover from I think 1970, early 70s, 78 I do believe. But this was given to me as a gift from my mom when I was a kid, and it's one of my favorite books on my shelf, one of my most treasured possessions, and it's just a big beautiful hardcover. And most of the stories in here are black and white. And there is a color section in here, but still it's a very, very awesome book to have, and I'm happy to have it. So that's where kind of collecting this kind of collected Batman story started for me. And look at that beautiful Carmine Infantino, I think, cover. Beautiful. Now, I'm just going to go through these. I've got hardcovers. I've got trade paperback, softcover size, and a few other goodies I'm going to throw in here. So let's just go through them. This is Gotham Central. Pardon my ring light there. I'll try not to get the glare on the covers. Now this deals more with the Gotham City Police Department, but this is a great series written by Greg Rucka, I do believe. Yeah, Ed Brubaker and Greg Rucka. Wonderful, wonderful stories, great artwork, and it deals with the characters from Gotham City Police Department, but it's still, tangentially a Batman series. Now here we get into the anniversary books. I've got a couple of these. This is Batman, A Celebration of 75 Years. Nice, big, beautiful hardcover. Look at that, and that's nice to have. And recently, Detective Comics celebrated its 1000th issue. So here's a deluxe hardcover of that. And of course it collects. Actually, that's a news story. Sorry, no, I'm thinking of the next book. This is a news story of Detective Comics number 1000. This is 80 years of Batman that came out about the same time that number 1000 came out, Detective Comics. So this collects a lot of the stories over the years from Detective Comics, from its beginning right up until recently. And that's just a wonderful book to have as well. And that awesome Jim Lee cover there. Now, as I said, this is just kind of what I collected over the years, what I was able to pick up. Now, this one is Batman, The Complete History, with that Bob Kane cover. Alex Ross end papers, and this is just a very cool book to have. There's Adam West as Batman, and it's full of just cool stuff. If you're a Batman fan, it's just very nice to have. I mean, it's an essential pretty much. Now I've got, this is from the 70s, the Batman Encyclopedia, Volume 1 by Michael Fleischer. Now, I think it's been updated since this one, but I've had this one on my shelf for a long time, and I'm just, I'm happy to have that up on my shelf. Here I've got some newspaper, the Batman, the dailies from 1943 to 1944, when Batman appeared in the newspapers, in the comics. And these are just what you'd expect, the daily strips from the newspaper. Very nice to have. I'm happy to have that. I mean, look at that beautiful cover. And that might be, who drew that one? I'm not real sure. It wasn't Bob Kane, that's for sure. Now, this is kind of an interesting one. Batman 3D. When there was a 3D craze back in the 80s, I do believe. I'm bad for dates, so, I've got to look up all these dates. 1990. And I do believe this came with a set of 3D glasses there in the back of the book, so you could enjoy the Batman stories in 3D. Very cool book to have. And here we have Tales of the Dark Knight, Batman's first 50 years from 1939 to 1989. Another book about Batman in the comics. And it's a back cover. And it talks all about the stories and the characters and shows the artwork. Talks about the creators of the stories. There you see, I think, some Jerry Robinson work. There's Sherlock Holmes, and you know me loving mystery and detective stories. I mean, that's why I think the character of Batman appeals to me so much. I mean, I have lots of Superman stuff, and I am a huge fan of Superman, but Batman has always been my go-to since the beginning. I still have the very first Batman comic that I ever read without a cover, but I have it, and you can see that's where the interest started. And here we have, it's called Batman Collected by Chip Kidd. Now, I was a huge collector of Batman memorabilia for a long time. I got rid of a lot of it, which I wish I didn't, but this goes through a lot of the stuff that features Batman, a lot of toys and cards and posters, and there's a Joker puppet, all the merchandise that features Batman through the movies, through the television show, and before. All these, this is cool. This is a fold out of, see if I can do this for you, of all the cards that they had when the TV show came out, these painted Batman cards, and that's a fold out of every card that was in the decks. And something just fell out of here. Let's see what fell out. Yes. You can, it's a cardboard cutout. You can make a Batman puppet. And that came with the book, which is very cool. And you can see the Batman figure that you could make out of the cutouts there. So that's very cool. And it's got this die cut cover. You can see Batman there with his mask on. And if you open it up, there's Bruce Wayne under the mask. So that's kind of cool. Nice to have. And here we have Batman animated with a lot of beautiful artwork in here from Bruce Timm and others when they developed the original the Batman animated cartoon, and some of the merchandising that went with it. There's some storyboards, covers of the comic that was based on the animated series. So that's just a nice book to have. And there's Paul Dini, the writer of the book, and Chip Kidd, who compiled the book. So that's that. Now I'm going to do some soft covers now, a lot of trade paperbacks. Now this one, very old and beat up. It's been chewed on by some animals, a cat, or let's hope it was a cat. But this, a friend of ours found this for me just a short while ago. And I don't have any of these, but I was happy to get this one. The pages are yellowed and it's beat up, but it's got some great, Carmine Infantino and Joe Giella artwork in here. These showcase books are nice to have, actually. And I wish I had some more of them, but, that's neat cover on there with the old Batman logo, which I love so much. Now we get into some trade paperbacks. And of course, there's the famous Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, 1986, which Batman made a bit of a comeback with that as a darker version of himself. Now we've got Batman Year One, written by Frank Miller, with awesome artwork by David Mazzucchelli. Batman Year Two. Now, a lot of these, I don't have complete sets, like you'll have volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and onwards for these trades. But as I said, it's very sporadic the way I pick them up. Collected stories with some great Neal Adams artwork in here about Ra's al Ghul, Tales of the Demon. Nice wraparound cover by Neal Adams. Batman: A Death in the Family, which collects the comics where Joker killed Robin, and that was a famous phone-in, call-in, whether you wanted Robin to die or survive. There was 2 numbers you could call, and you could make a choice whether you wanted, Joker to have killed Robin or whether he survived, and that's collected in this book here. And of course, a lot of bloodthirsty fans out there chose for Robin to die, and this was the Jason Todd Robin, who wasn't very popular with the fans. And here we have A Lonely Place of Dying, a used copy. I got it at Value Village, a little beat up. But again, it's all about the story and the artwork, so I'm happy to have that. Batman with Two-Face and the Riddler. Now, I would call this a Batman story. This is by John Byrne, and he did a couple of miniseries back in the day with Batman and Superman Through the Generations. So I got this in trade, Generations 2, An Imaginary Tale. And it's just got some great John Byrne artwork in here, and these were very enjoyable stories, the Generation stories. And here we've got kind of a kitschy kind of thing. Back in the 70s, there was a series called the Superman Batman Super Sons. It was called Saga of the Super Sons, and I've got a couple of them in the floppy comics, but this collects them all in a nice trade paperback. So it's kind of kitschy, more of an Elseworlds kind of thing, but fun to have. And I'm glad I got that one. Batman in the 70s, which is probably my favorite era of Batman. I just love the look. And that was the Neal Adams era, And Irv Novick as well was probably the first artist that I associated with Batman. The first comic I read was drawn by Irv Novick, and I just loved his work. And here we have Batman Strange Apparitions, and this is by Steve Englehart and drawn by Marshall Rogers. Just a great, I've got some of the original comics, not all of them unfortunately, but they're collected in this edition, which is very nice to have. And if you've never read this particular story arc, I recommend picking it up and looking for it if you can find it. The Strange Deaths of Batman, and this reprints stories throughout the years where Batman supposedly died. So just a great Jim Aparo cover on that. And here is Matt Wagner, Batman Monster Men. Just, he does a great job on Batman. These are awesome stories, great artwork. I mean, look at that. With Batman, Alfred, and the Batmobile and the Batcave. That's just incredible. Such a great book, that one. Nice to have. And here is Batman Under the Hood, and which features a red hood, which we all know was the Joker under that red hood. Well, the origin story was, but the red hood in this is referring to a different character. But yeah, and that is by Judd Winnick and Doug Menke. Great, some great work in there. And here we have actually three volumes from the Collected Adventures, Batman the Collected Adventures from Batman the Animated Series. Now, I love this. I love the animated series when it came out. Huge fan, and I love the style of artwork. Bruce Timm, just, you know, when he designed these characters, did such a great job. So that's volume 1. With great work in there by Kelly Puckett and Mike Paperbacks was the artist. Mike Paperbacks, and Ty Templeton did some work in there. And here is volume 2 of the Collected Adventures. Nice wraparound cover. There's Clayface and all kinds of great characters back there. And the famous Mad Love that adapted the episode from Batman in the Animated Series, Mad Love, with introduced Harley Quinn. So that's just a great book to have. Again, with great artwork in there by Bruce Timm. Fantastic work. And we have volume 1 and 2 of Batman Hush by Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. Volume 1 and 2. Now, these three I did have to get, because these are volume 1, 2, and 3 of The Court of Owls, The City of Owls, and The Death of the Family by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Now, I love this so much I had to go out and get at least 3 volumes of it. So there's volume 1, volume 2, great series, and volume 3. And in hardcover, I also have volume 4 from the same series, Collected, and I have volume 6. Batman Officer Down. Detective Comics Scare Tactics Volume 2. From All-Star Batman, we have Volume 2, Ends of the Earth. And I have in hardcover Volume 3 of that All-Star Batman. Volume 5, The Rules of Engagement, Batman. Batman Beyond. Now, a lot of these you can pick up at Dollarama for a very cheap price. And every now and then I'll go by and you'll see a lot of these in their book section of Dollarama, believe it or not. So that's where I got that one. Nice book, nice cover. Batman White Knight by Sean Murphy and Matt Hollingsworth. These are great. Unfortunately, that's the only one I have from that series, but that one I think was the first one. Really good, really well done. And of course, as Michael said, the incomprehensible Grant Morrison. Batman Time and the Batman. That was fun though, that one. Another Gotham Central, which again, really enjoyable. I really love those. And here's an older one by Grant Morrison again, Batman Gothic, with artwork by Klaus Janson. Now we'll get into some more hardcovers. Here's an adaptation of the video game, Batman Arkham City, written by Paul Dini with artwork by Carlos Dianda. And that's when you take the paper off, you get a neat cover underneath. And we have I Couldn't Resist, Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Volume 2, Part 2 of No Man's Land. Now I have all these No Man's Land comics in the floppy comics, but this is the only collected one I have from No Man's Land. But very neat, iconic cover. And No Man's Land was so good. You know, so many good stories in there. Oh, and here's some artwork by, some great artwork. I do believe it's Jim Aparo inked by Bill Sienkiewicz. Now let me make sure of that though. Oh no, sorry. Dan Jurgens pencils with Bill Sienkiewicz inks. And the artwork just turned out beautifully. I just love that rough kind of look to the artwork, and they did a really good job. Now this one's a little bit of a curiosity. This is Fortnite, Batman Fortnite, called 0 Point, and where Batman appeared in the Fortnite universe. And you've got this kind of neat cover here, and there's the inside cover. So that's fun to have. And apparently, I didn't buy it new, I bought it used, but apparently if you bought it new, there was a code in there where you could download the Batman outfit for the actual game. So that was kind of a cool little bonus for people who bought this book brand new. And here we have a Batman and Superman book. Public Enemies, I think, was the title of that one. So that's a lot of fun. I mean, it's got some great Ed McGuinness artwork in here. And he did a really good job. Now we're almost done. Batman, this is actually paperback, big trade paperback size. Batman, Son of the Demon by Mike W. Barr and Jerry Bingham. An early trade paperback from the 80s, I do believe, 87. So that's an early trade paperback. So that's nice to have. And then you've got a hardcover Bride of the Demon by Mike W. Barr with artwork by Tom Grindberg. And this was published in 1990. So that's an early trade paperback as well, or trade book as well, hardcover. Now these next ones are almost done. We've got 4 more. This I was so happy to get. These are the Treasury editions of their reprints, but they're done in these huge size, paperback size, and that cover is a painted cover. That's beautiful. And it just features Batman in all his glory there. Beautiful artwork, just lovely to have this. There's some Neal Adams artwork in there. There's the Batmobile. So that's nice to have in my collection. And I also have, when DC and Marvel teamed up, Batman and the Hulk versus the Hulk, with beautiful Garcia Lopez artwork, Jose Garcia Lopez. Like that back cover. Just if you've never seen Garcia Lopez's work, I mean, you owe yourself a favor to go check it out. Just a fantastic draftsman. Beautiful, beautiful book. Happy to have that one. And another Treasury-sized edition by Alex Ross, more recent than that one, Batman War on Crime, with that iconic cover and fully painted inside. Kind of retells his origin in here. And they did a series of these. All the Justice League members, I think they did a series of these. Then they had a Justice League one that featured them all by Alex Ross. So yeah, that's great to have. Now this next one's a little different, a little bit of a treat. Anyway, this came out a few years ago, and I snagged it when I could. And it's got a reprint of Batman #1. And again, it's got this Les Daniels book, who talks about the history of Batman, with a lot of the earlier artwork reprinted in here, a lot of the newspaper strips. And that was included in the boxed set. There's Robin on the back. And it also came with this action figure of the original Batman from the very first Detective Comics story. Try not to get a glare. But yeah, that's a wonderful thing to have. Kind of sits on my shelf, but yeah, I wouldn't want to get rid of that. Just a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with everyone, and I hope you enjoyed that. So I'll talk to you soon. You guys take care. Keep reading.